Okay, good morning, everybody. Okay, today, this will be our last class until after the New Year's. So, we're going to mix it up a little bit. I am going to call today's program the 2-minute drill. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a whole series of things for 2 minutes and then move on to another one. You will not get bored. This is going to move very quickly. And I'm going to give you some things to do that you can practice even over the break. Okay? So the first thing we do is we want to warm up. So let's warm up with the sun salutation. I hope you remember. So for those of you that are new, I know some of the people are coming, or most of you are remote that have been at school. So I'll go through it slowly. You'll catch on. I'll talk you through it. Okay, ready? First thing up, reach up, breathe in. This is called mountain pose. Now dive down like a swan dive and touch your toes. Hold that. Come up, touch your knees. Hold that. Now go back down, touch your toes. Now you do these really slow. Then we can do an inchworm, walk out into a plank. Let's hold the plank for a little bit. Okay, drop to your belly. Slowly lower yourself to your belly. Okay, now reach your shoulders up. You can go a little bit further or whatever's comfortable for you. And then go back down, chin on the mat, and go back up to a downward facing dog. And then step up, your feet between your hands, touch your toes, and come up to a mountain pose. Okay, let's do one more. Ready? Up. Breathe in. Dive down. Touch your toes. Touch your knees. I think this is called tabletop or half bend. Touch your toes again. Inchworm walk out to a plank. Let's do a plank on our elbows. Okay, lower yourself to the mat. And then push your shoulders up. This is called cobra. Then go back down. And finally we go back up to a downward facing dog. And then we'll step up, our feet in between our hands, touch your toes, and then reach up. Okay, that was 2 minutes of warm up. Okay, so I want to do the Behira point for you guys. I want to do, let's do a sumo sit. So we'll see if we can do it for 1.5 minutes. Okay, so I'll talk you through the Behira point, exactly what that is, those of you who don't know. So get in a sumo sit. We're going to try to do it until we get to 500. Now remember, the sumo sit is 90 degrees, like that. And we're just going to hold it. If you want to do it against the wall, you can do that. But make sure your back is kind of straight. Now the Behira point, as you remember, is that point where it starts to get pretty difficult. And that's the point where you start to make a choice whether you're going to stop or not. Okay, so I can already feel in my thighs that it's starting to get a little bit tough. So we still have roughly about 50 seconds left. Okay, so keep doing it. It's better that you don't see what the clock is. Maybe think about something else, blah, blah, blah. La-di-da. Okay, so you're still feeling it? Okay, we have about 25 more seconds for those of you who can do it. If it's too uncomfortable, then stop. If you can do it for another 15 seconds, see if you can do it with me. I know it gets tough, and that's the Behira point. You're making a choice whether you're going to work through that discomfort or not. 3, 2, 1. Very good. Okay. I'd like you to go get a jump rope. Okay, so what I'd like you to do over these next couple weeks is to get pretty good at jump rope. And let's go through the mechanics of it. And you can practice it right now, or as we are finishing, if the tape is done, you can go outside and practice a little bit more. So for those of you who need to go get a jump rope, stop the video, okay, and then go get one, okay? And then come back. The first thing I want you to do is to just get the feeling of swinging the rope with your wrist. So every time that thing hits the ground, you're going to be jumping. But you can't wait for it to hit the ground because it's too late. You have to start jumping when you kind of see it in your eyes. Okay, so when I see it here, I'm going to start jumping. Okay, got it? Now I'm going to be doing this with both hands like that. Got it? Now some people do 2 jumps in between. If you like that, you can do that. I'm a little compromised here because of my ceiling fan, and I really don't think my rope is long enough. And I really can't swing it, so the last class I did, I made about 3 mistakes. But that's okay. If you make a mistake, just keep going. All right, so start with your rope behind your heels like that, and then you're going to swing both arms, and you can do a single jump, or you can do the double jump. Okay, got it? So you can either stop the tape right now and go out and practice, or wait until we're totally done, and then go ahead and practice then. But use this jumping rope as a great aerobic activity. Okay, so let's move on to something else that you can practice over these couple weeks. Throwing. Either throwing a ball or a snowball, because it's going to snow like crazy. I'm filming this on Wednesday. There'll be, I don't know, maybe 10 inches of snow on Thursday, hopefully when you see this tape. So here's what I'd like you to do. Go outside, make about 20 snowballs. Okay, put it right by your feet. Start on one knee like this. If you're a righty, have your right knee on the ground. If you're a lefty, you do the left knee on the ground. Get a snowball, hold it up, get it back by your ear. Okay, now you turn your body a little bit and then throw. Okay, so do about 5 or more throws from this position. Aim for a tree, aim for something that's not going to break. And then what I'd like you to do is come on up on both feet, get another snowball. You remember, if there's no snow, you can practice against the garage or something like that with a tennis ball. And step and throw. So step and throw. Snowball or ball right by your, not really right by your ear, kind of close to your ear. Okay, and then we have our belly button that goes like that, and then the arm follows. And then we throw. Okay, got it? All right, a couple things to practice. All right, next thing I want you to do, you can practice this a couple of days a week, is a push-up. So I'm going to give you a couple of different variations for push-ups, and you can practice the one that's good for you. All right, so if you can do a regular push-up, okay, which is in a plank position, perfectly straight, and if you're wearing a cap, here's what I would recommend. Wear a baseball cap when you do it. That way, I'll show you why, because every time you go down to the down position, if you hit the bill of the cap, that's about how far down you should go. So get in a good plank position and just lower yourself to the bill of the cap, hits the ground, and come on back up. Okay? All right, let's say you just can't do that. Well, maybe you should get something like this, a step stool, or you can do it on a step where you're slightly inclined like this. And it makes it a little bit easier to do it. So you can do your push-up like that. I don't like this because my arms are too close, but you work with what you have. Okay, so if you can do your push-up like that, that's fine. And if that's still a little bit hard for right now, so you would go ahead and do it on your knees. So have your feet up in the air, and you're just going to kind of like use your rock forward, bend your elbows, again with the bill of the cap, and touch that against the ground. Okay, so the question is, how many should I do? Well, we're going to use the same principle of Bahira Point or the Borg skill for some of you who remember. You're going to do it until it's kind of hard. So if it's kind of hard at 3 push-ups, if that's all you can do, fine. If you keep doing this, 3's in another week or so, 3's not going to be enough. Probably have to do 5. If you did it for another week after that, probably have to do 7. So your muscles are going to get stronger as you do this. Okay, let's end with a cool down. The cool down I want to do is on the floor. Start with the butterfly. And just wave those wings. Okay, this went real quick today. I kind of like this 2-minute drill. Okay, let's keep one leg straight, one like in a tree pose. Okay, put your hands on your knee and walk your fingertips to the ground, to the ankle. Now keep that knee on the ground. And then if you can, tuck your head. Those of you who can, grab your toe and hold. Okay, let's go ahead and do the other leg. Hands on your knees. Walk your hands to your ankle. So what I notice is this leg is, I guess it's tighter here, so I can't get as far down with my right leg forward as my left. Well, I almost can, but I can feel it's harder. Okay, both legs forward. Let's do some ankle circles. Point, sideways, inwards, point forward, point back. Now, hands on your knees. Walk your hands down to your ankles. Touch your toes. Okay, done. On your knees. Sit back on your toes. Big deep breath. Okay, rise up. Hands on your hips. Hips forward, shoulders back. Okay, so from here we're going to go into a child's pose. So if you're wearing a cap like me, you're going to have to go ahead and switch it around, because what we're going to do is we're going to put our forehead onto the ground, and we're going to just be there for a good minute and a half. And I'm not going to talk in that minute and a half. You're going to see if you can just be in this position for a minute and a half, quietly listening to your body, feeling your breath. Always go back to your breath if your thoughts are wandering. Just feel what it's like just to be in that relaxing pose. Okay, so let's go ahead, sit back on your heels. Okay, let's get our forehead to the ground and put your hands by your ankles, and we're going to stay here for about a minute and a half. Okay, go ahead and go. Okay, come on back up and sit on your toes. Take a big deep breath in. Okay, rise up off your toes. Hands on your hips. Shoulders back. Hips forward. Stretch. Left leg forward. On the foot on the ground. Hands on your hips. Now push your hips forward. Shoulders back. Can you feel it stretching right there? Okay, let's go ahead and do the other leg. Okay, from the child's pose, we never just shoot straight up. We want to do a little bit of stretching before we get straight up to the ground. Okay, standing. Okay, now let's get up. Okay, that was our 2-minute drill today. I'd like you to go outside, get a jump rope, practice for a little bit. Snow's on the ground, make those 20 snowballs and practice your throwing. Do it again on Friday and do it all through the winter break. Okay, it's a good way to practice throwing, taking that snowball and really practice your throw. I will see you after January 1. Okay, have a good holiday.